G'day, my name is Chris Betcher. I'm a Google Certified Trainer and a Google Certified Innovator from Sydney, Australia. In this video, I'd like to show you how you can enhance your students' digital literacy and empower them to produce better written work by helping them improve the originality of their writing. This relates to the big ideas of communication and assessment in Google Classroom. With information being so accessible these days, it's easy for students to use the internet for research and then simply cut and paste text together as they compose their writing. And while most of our students try to summarise and paraphrase the ideas they find online, sometimes it's all too easy to end up with work that is, well, not all that original. Most students don't intentionally plagiarise, and many may not even be aware that they've done it. So if we can provide them with the tools to identify where plagiarism happens, we can put the power to be better writers in their hands. In this video, I'll show you how to enhance your students' digital literacy by using the Originality reports in Google Classroom. I'll show you how to enable an Originality report for a student assignment and how running the report looks for both the teacher and the student. Let's get started. Create a new assignment by clicking the Create button here on the classwork page and choosing Assignment. I've actually already got one here in draft mode, so let's go back and edit that one by clicking Edit Assignment. As usual, you would enter the title, the description and instructions, point value, due date, topic, any other information that's relevant to this assignment. You can click the Add button here to add extra documents if you need to. Now, to make this assignment eligible for an originality check, you simply need to tick this Check Plagiarism button here in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, a pop-up message appears to let you know that you can enable an originality check on up to 5 assignments in any course, and it tells you how many you currently have available. It's also worth noting that if your school has enterprise features, you'll actually have unlimited use of originality reports. Once enabled, the students will see an option to run an originality check on their work. So let's assign this task now, and then switch to the student view of this assignment to see what it looks like for them. Okay, so here we are in the Google Classroom for one of our students called Jay. As usual, we'll find the classwork on the classwork page, and here it is here. I always encourage my students to click this View Assignment link at the bottom. It's usually the best way to see the entire assignment. Now, this particular assignment requires Jay to submit his writing in a Google Doc. He can use the Add or Create button over here to either add a document or create one on the fly. If Jay had already written his response, he could just find it in his Google Docs. But in this case, he needs to create a brand new Google Doc so he can start writing. So he clicks Docs and it creates the Google Doc. Now notice when it creates a doc this way, Google Classroom will automatically add his name to the doc's file name. And here it is right here. So let's open this document up, and now Jay can start writing. He'll likely want to use the internet to research the topic, get some ideas, which he will then hopefully summarize and synthesize together to produce his final product. Let's just fast forward a little here and jump right to the end of the first draft so we can see what Jay has written. Well, it looks pretty good so far. And when Jay returns to the assignment page in Google Classroom, he now sees an option to run an originality report, and he just needs to click the word Run. A pop-up appears to let Jay know that he can run the originality reports up to 3 times. Usually, a student would run the report after writing a first draft and then again on subsequent drafts if needed. We'll just click Run. The report takes a few moments to run, but behind the scenes, something big is happening. Google Classroom is comparing Jay's writing to every book and web page on the open internet. Basically, if Jay has taken some content from a book or a web page somewhere without putting it into his own words, then Classroom will let him know. So let's take a look at the report by clicking on this link. As we can see, the report has flagged 4 passages here that seem to be taken word for word from other sources. The percentage button over here can also show the percentage of work. In this case, 32% has been flagged. Clicking on any of the highlighted passages will actually show the panel on the right there that displays both the student passage and as well as the source passage, and provides the URL of where that passage came from. Now, some might be just minor borrowed references, while others might show evidence of some really clear and significant plagiarism. The important thing is that the student can now see how much and exactly which parts of the work have been plagiarized, and then do something about it. Now, clicking the Edit button at the bottom of the page will open up the doc with the student's work, so they can now go back and make changes for the second draft. The report is simply flagging the passages that show where plagiarism appears, but it's still up to the student to actually fix it. Note that where a student places text in quotation marks, for example here, the report will see that as a citation, not necessarily plagiarism, and you can include or exclude these citations using this switch right here. It's a good idea to encourage students to use the citation tool in Google Docs to make a note of any cited passages. Also, notice the printer button up in the top right. Clicking this will produce a printable or PDF version of the report with a plagiarism summary and a list of all the flagged passages, which many students find really useful. With up to 3 opportunities to run the originality check, this gives students the insights they need to draft and redraft their work so they can remove plagiarized passages and refine their writing. When they're happy with the work, they return back to the main page and click the Hand In button to submit it. Now, let's switch back to the teacher account and see what the teacher sees. Okay, so back in the teacher's account, the teacher sees Jay's work appear on the assignment page as usual, and when they open the work and go to the grading page, they'll also now see a little note under the document here, under the document name, indicating that there are flagged passages. Clicking on that will open the originality report for the teacher. And importantly, the teacher gets the originality report regardless of whether the student ran one or not. This gives the teacher the same insight into the originality of the work and enables them to provide quality feedback to the student to help them improve their writing. So there we have it. By enabling the originality report option when setting an assignment in Google Classroom, we can not only see, as a teacher, whether the student has plagiarized a little too much, but more importantly, we provide our students with a powerful tool that allows them to check their own work up to 3 times before submitting it, giving them the opportunity to revise and review the work, enhancing not only the effectiveness of their writing on this individual task, but more generally building their skills in digital literacy and being a better communicator. Thanks for watching.